President, Lord, members of the faculty and members of the graduating class of this great institution of learning, ladies and gentlemen. I need not pause to say how very delighted I am to be here today and to be with you on this auspicious occasion. And I certainly want to express my warm personal appreciation to your distinguished president for extending the invitation. And I might say in advance that I'm deeply grateful to the president, to the members of the faculty, and to the members of the Board of Trustees of Hofstra University for choosing me to receive an honorary degree this year. I can assure you that this is an honor that I will cherish for many, many years to come. And this kind of moral support, this expression of support, is of inestimable value for the continuance of my humble efforts to make brotherhood and justice a reality in our nation. We stand in a real sense in danger of another world war. It reveals to us that the clouds of that war are hovering mighty low. So it is necessary to work hard to get rid of war, to bring about disarmament. For if we assume that mankind has a right to survive, we must find some alternative to war and violence. But in a day when vehicles are dashing through outer space, and guided ballistic missiles are carving highways of death through the stratosphere, no nation can win a world war. It is no longer the choice between violence and nonviolence. It is either nonviolence or non-existence. And the alternative to disarmament, the alternative to a greater suspension of nuclear tests, the alternative to strengthening the United Nations and thereby disarming the whole world may well be the civilization plunged into the abyss of annihilation, and our earthly habitat will be transformed into an inferno that even the mind of Dante could not envision. And so we must work in every nation, in every land, to get rid of war. Some years ago, the famous novelist died. Among his papers was found a list of suggested story plots for future stories, the most prominently underscored being this one: a widely separated family inherits a house in which they have to live together. And this is a great new problem of mankind. We have inherited a big house, a great world house, in which we have to live together, black and white, Easterners and Westerners, Gentiles and Jews, Protestants and Catholics, a family unduly separated in ideals, culture, and interests, who, because we can never again live without each other, must learn somehow in this one big world to live with each other. This is our great opportunity, and this is the challenge ahead. May I say in conclusion that I still have faith to believe that we will go all out to solve these ancient evils of mankind. I still have faith in the future, and I still have faith in America. Even on the question of racial injustice, I somehow have the faith to believe that we will one day solve this problem and that we are developing a coalition of conscience that will bring about an ultimate solution. I know that there are difficult days ahead. I know that there are dark and desolate nights before us. I know that there is still a great deal of suffering ahead before this problem is solved. And so the challenge ahead is to work for this bright day. The challenge before each of us assembled here today is to become an involved participant in getting rid of war and getting rid of poverty and getting rid of racial injustice. Let us not be detached spectators or silent onlookers, but involved participants. And we will contribute to the development of that bright tomorrow when all of God's children will be able to live together as brothers, and every man will respect the dignity and worth of human personality. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. Certainly we can gain consolation from the fact that we've made strides. As a nation, we still have a long, long way to go. As a world, we still have a long, long way to go in order to make peace a reality. But each of us can gain some consolation from the fact that at least we have made some strides in the effort to solve all of the problems that I've mentioned. And so I close by quoting the words of an old Negro slave preacher who didn't quite have his grammar right, but who uttered words of great symbolic profundity. They were uttered in the form of a prayer. Lord, we ain't what we ought to be. We ain't what we want to be. We ain't what we gonna be. But thank God, we ain't what we was. Thank you.